What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel for my final course of today, part of the 3 to T series where I'm attempting to play every single course available within GS Pro sooner than later. Obviously, eventually, there's a ton of courses, over 1,000, so it's going to take me a while to get through them, but that's the goal. Playing 3 holes per course, the 1st, the 9th, and the 18th, and the goal here is for the amount of videos, whether it's 1 or 2 videos per week, or if I post one every single day, whatever video from Monday to Sunday, whatever many I post, gets the most amount of views. I'll be coming out here and doing a live stream for a full 18 holes for whatever basically you guys choose, and you basically vote by your viewership. Whatever video you guys and course you like the best, I'll be doing a full 18 holes. But for this video, we are playing Mattaponi Springs. This is in Ruther Glen, Virginia. Course designer on this one was R.C. Perkins Jr., and this is another course request by the fellow sim golfer and YouTuber Golfy, Golffe. Go check out his channel. He has an awesome indoor setup. Very jealous of that. He has a Mevo Plus, I believe. He also plays GS Pro with a, like I said, indoor setup with a projector and whatnot. But shout out to Golfy for the 3 awesome requests here. Playing 3 in a row for you, so this could be a week long of Golfy request videos, but we're going to give this a go. Looks pretty nice. Obviously, all the graphics within GS Pro, almost every single course, are pretty breathtaking and never cease to amaze me, all the detail that the course designers put into it. But getting right into it, trying to cut down on some of the length of these videos, hence the only 3 holes. But again, I've been mentioning it, but testing out new equipment here, trying to piece things together to be able to do the live stream, and heading in the right direction with having everything going directly into the computer. So testing out a 2K web camera, which I did a test on the range, and just looking at the first video I did today, the camera doesn't look the best, just like my swing camera. It looks like the resolution is lower than what it should be for a 2K camera, and it seems like the frames, it seems a bit kind of laggy and glitchy. But maybe it'll look a little bit different once I bring it into my editing computer inside. But just bear with me. Hopefully I can figure things out here, either by changing around some settings, or possibly upgrading to a better camera. Despite, I mean, this is a really nice Anchor webcam. So 2K and 4K, especially if you're watching it on your phone, you shouldn't see that much of a difference, but I don't think I'm maximizing the 2K resolution that the camera is capable of into the computer. So hence why I think I may need to do some research and figure out some OBS settings, which are very, very intricate if you guys are ever messing around with OBS. But again, just trying to piece things together. This is the direction I want to go, and ideally keep basically the OBS settings and everything, the same equipment, whether I'm recording like I am today or for when I come out and do the live stream. Kind of have everything together, and kind of keeping things constant, just so I'm not changing around different things, may forget things one day or not. Just try to keep things as standard and constant as possible. But take a look at the first hole here from Mattaponi Springs, par 4, 430, down 24 yards. Golfy plays a ton of golf, so he's a pretty experienced GS Pro user, so I'm sure he knows the real. I mean, look at this hole. Look at that. Look at that landing spot. You got water on the right. He knows all the really nice courses, and the graphics on this one look pretty outstanding. That water's calling my name off this tee, or at least for the second shot. But let's see if we can put something into this landing zone. All right, we should be all right. Well, actually, maybe not. 24, almost 25 yards of downslope. I don't know how much of that is off the tee versus the entire hole, but 266 there. If that's 20 yards and I hit it 266, that could be into the water. But we're going to hit driver, and that's where we're going to aim, and hopefully fade it off that line and keep it dry off this first tee. I did take a look, and I made note of that, or mental note, I guess I should say, that the greens in the fairway were both normal for this course. Playing the furthest back like always. Oh, it was straight, but that was high toe. Straight-ish. And this may actually benefit me, the fact that I only got 148 on the ball speed and only swung it at 101.6, because if I hit that any better, that would have been right into the water. So all things considered, that was a good time to have a not so great driver strike and a miss hit. So at least we're in play. We're in the rough, but it's dry, more importantly. So leaves us with 135 up about a yard, so we'll call it 136, and then the rough is going to play another 7 yards or so. So we're low 140s, about 142 total. Pins front right, it's going to come out right and on a downslope. So we're going to aim here, and I'm going to go choke down 9, and GS Pro suggesting a pitching wedge, which is just my carry numbers I have it set to, but that's not factoring in the rough percentage, so that's going to probably come up short unless I really thin a pitching wedge. So the 9, choke down 9 iron is the right distance, and hopefully I can actually get my 140, 145, which I'm trying to do out of it. Yikes. How that is on the green, I have no idea. That's probably the worst shot I've hit today, and I've hit a decent amount of shots. That was horrendous, and we got very, 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 very lucky that we got a par on that. That was horrendous. That should have been, I'm curious what the distances show on that. I think that low launch kind of helped us almost to slow it down a bit, but that was, yeah, I mean, look at the carry from the Garmin, 148, and I was trying to hit it like 140, 145, obviously up in the air more with a 9 iron, and not just do a complete skull job, but the fact that it took off about 25 yards on the carry from the game and only got 142 total out of that, that is very lucky, and I am grateful that that's how that resulted. But in any event, par on the first hole, second hole, 9th hole, par 4, 4-5-3, down 25 yards again. So at least we're picking the holes with some downslope. Pretty nice view here, not a ton to get in trouble. Massive downslope here right as we get to the dog leg, and we got a split hole. That's water penalty area, but that'll come into play with the approach shot. So hopefully, if we can get it up on this hill, it's showing 292 up here, which is possible. If I hit it 260, 270, and then plus the 25 yards. Granted, it looks pretty flat here. The 25 is going to be once you get to that hill. So I don't know if I'm going to quite be able to take advantage of that off the tee. I would have to carry it probably close to that 292, or at least let it roll out to that area to be able to get it to go down that hill, which is very unlikely of happening. But you never know. But we're going to aim here, fade it off this, and hopefully at least put ourselves with a look going into this green around this corner. Very high toe. Half off the crown again. Luckily, this white part is like ceramic on the sim too, so it's pretty hard. You have to hit the same spot over and over again for it to really leave a horrendous permanent mark. But that was partially off the crown. It just, as soon as I hit it, just sounds and feels terrible because you're hitting it obviously not on the titanium face. What was that? 251, and I was with the downslope. Only 218 yards. Well, I guess there wasn't much. There was only, what, 7 yards of that downslope? We still have 17 left of it. That was only 218 from the Garmin, 232 in the game. Yikes, 104, 139. So we lost about 10, 15 miles an hour of ball speed there because that was such a horrendous shot. But in any event, we got some tree trouble. It's going to come out right, so I'm going to aim here. 184, we're in the fairway, but then it's down 17. So 173, like 165, I guess 8 iron. Don't love that water there. Problem is 183, the safe move is a 7, but then the 183, I usually play the 7 to about 180, 185, but then if I hit it to that distance, which I would be trying to do, we got the 17 yards of downslope, which is going to put us obviously almost 20 yards off the back. I could choke down a 7. That's what GS Pro is suggesting, but I think I'm going to stick with my gut and go 8 iron and hopefully connect on one, have some decent contact, and hopefully we guess right here. I must say, I do have kind of a math and science-based kind of analytical brain. If simple kind of mental math isn't your strong suit, GS Pro may not be the the best software unless you have a calculator out here. Pretty much every single shot besides a tee shot, you got to do some mental math and figure out how far you actually need to hit things. Whether you can do that or not is a different story, but you at least want to know the yards that you're trying to hit. Decent contact, popped it up, it was a bit toey. It's probably going to be short right, but hopefully enough to be Nope, right into the water. Yikes. Alright, so it's going to make us drop. That sucks. 144 from the Garmin, 164, so maybe not. Contact felt halfway decent on that, but apparently not. I think I hung back on it, and I did definitely pop that up, but I thought that would have been enough to at least be over that water and dry, but we were not. So there goes the scorecard, unless we hold this out. So we were 1, 2 in, dropping 3, hitting 4. So we got to hold this out for par 4, and we're in the deep rough, so this should be interesting. Luckily, not a ton to deal with down here on the lie, but 23 yards were short-sided, somewhat. It's going to come out a little bit right, so we'll aim here. 23 up like a yard and a half, so we'll call it 24, 25, and then deep rough is going to be 21%, which will be 4 or 5 yards on top of that. So we're in the neighborhood of 29, 30 total. It's going to be a 60 degree no matter what, because I want to launch it high and land it soft, especially out of this deep rough, but hopefully we can get it done and get at least somewhat lucky with how the how GS Pro, the software, is going to result in whatever type of shot we hit out of here. It's going to open this thing up a bit more than usual and really try to launch it up there. A little bit scuffy, but I mean, hey, better to be lucky than good, folks. That works. Tough sometimes on these artificial mats. That one I felt like you open up the face, you expose more of the bounce. Definitely hit a little bit behind that. Usually you would obviously catch the turf and you would chunk it a little bit versus these artificial mats, which I regularly talk about. You catch it a little bit behind the ball. It's kind of tough telling too at my skill level whether I'm making contact with the turf slightly behind, slightly in front. You can obviously feel the turf, but if you catch it a little bit behind, it basically skips the club off the turf into the ball and almost accelerates it a little bit, kind of like a drop kick. But bogey there, which is honestly not bad from that drop we just took. So didn't hold it out for par, but we are 1 over through 2, third and final hole, 18th hole, par 4, 450. Looks like there's some clouds forming there, some darker clouds too. I was worried about today. There was a like an 11% chance of rain, but pretty blue sky here. So luckily, taking all this equipment out here, especially some of this newer stuff, rain and expensive electronics don't mix very well. But I was kind of looking up in the sky. I'm actually going to do, I just want to take a look. I was looking up, talking about the weather, not looking at the flyover. I saw the end of it with the clubhouse, but all right, we got a pretty wide landing spot, but then we got a pretty substantial, there's some undulation there. We got a pretty substantial dog leg to the left with another one of those streams right in front of the green protecting it, calling our name. But all right. Sorry you had to see that twice, but kind of wanted to know where I was going. We do have some room here, but we're going to go there, down 21 yards. It seems like more of that 21 yards is around that corner, but we'll go there and hopefully not hit something so high in the face again where it sounds and feels terrible, and I cringe as soon as I hit it. Hopefully square one up a little bit better. Final tee shot of the day. Calling it quits after this 3 holes here, this course. So it's always nice when you go inside after you hit a drive at least halfway decent. So hopefully line this up and hit something halfway decent out there and feel good about at least the last driver swing of the day. Oh, that's a duck hook left. We can play though. There's almost 2 fairways over there. That was, at least it wasn't a high spinny slice, but that was toey, and I shut it down on top of it. That thing was a snapper. Well, not exactly ideal. At least I didn't put it into a penalty, but 274 somehow. Granted, it goes, you get more distance out of a draw with the lower spin, and it kind of tumbles forward after. And we kind of didn't mean to do that. That would have been cool if I could do that on command around a dog leg, but 151, 102. I guess it's, all things considered, it's better than a high spinny slice losing it out to the right, but that was not exactly an ideal strike. In any event, 145, down 11. GS Pro suggesting a 9 iron. So we've got 134, and then the 6%. And again, maybe Golfy can let us know down in the comments, because he's more of a GS Pro expert seemingly than I am. Do you take the 6% of the 145, or do you take the 6% of the 134 after you factor in the slope? So 10% would be 14. Half of that, call it 7, 8. So, yeah, I mean, I guess Garmin's right, or GS Pro's right. It's going to have to be a 9 iron. It's going to have to be kind of a choke down 9. All right, come on. Let's hit one decent iron shot to end this. No, I forgot to choke down. My mind is not in it, and that was very toey. But luckily I didn't choke down because that was such a poor strike. Caught it heavy and toey. Ended up with a bogey. So, final video and final course of the day ends up being the worst score-wise of the day. So, it is what it is, though. Take a look at this brief summary here from Mattaponi Springs in Ruther Glen, Virginia. Course designed by R.C. Perkins Jr. And again, course request from Golfy, the fellow YouTuber. Go check out his channel. Like, subscribe, give him some support. Let him know that I sent you over there. But we ended up with a par on the first hole, bogey on 9, and a bogey on 18. So 2 over through 3. Take a look at the stats. 1 par, 2 bogeys, 251 best drive. This was the same thing as the last one. I don't know why. This might be a slight GS Pro glitch. I don't know why the longest drive and the average drive are showing exactly the same. And the same thing with the ball speeds. That's not right. So I don't know what the deal is with that. And also, my handicap is still all the way jacked up. I played one course. It was Ferry Point. Graylem suggested it. It was like the Caddyshack type of round in hurricane type conditions. And ever since then, I deleted the scorecard too within GS Pro. Like, you can go into the course and you can delete the scorecard. Ever since then, my handicap has been all jacked up. So I don't know what the deal is at the negative 84.5, but obviously that's not right. So, I mean, at this point, the stats, I don't put a ton of stock into them besides the greens and regulation and the fairways, which 2 out of 3, greens and regulation, 2/3, not terrible. Obviously, better 3 out of 3, but better than 1 out of 3 like we hit with the fairways, so only 33% there, but 6 putts, no sand saves, no mulligans. There you have it from Mattaponi Springs. I like this course too. I think so. I played a few today. I think the 2 favorites. Golfy gave me 3. He gave me the Gauntlet, Sanctuary, and Mattaponi Springs. Granted, only 3 holes, so kind of a small sample size from all of them. But if I had to pick, it'd probably be a toss-up between Sanctuary and Mattaponi, and I would probably give the slight nod to Sanctuary. But it's gonna be up to you guys. Whatever video gets the most amount of views, I'll come out and do a full 18 holes. So. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Shout out again to Golfy for the 3 requests. I'm going to shut things down here. Hopefully the video is at least salvageable inside and at least watchable for you guys. But probably have to look up some OBS settings and maybe be ordering a new webcam on Amazon. But I'll cross that bridge when I get there. So appreciate all the support you guys show the channel. Let me know if you have any course requests. Mention them down below. You can just look up SGT courses. If you Google that, there's a dedicated website that shows every single available course, over 1,000 on GS Pro. A lot of them have a YouTube video where they do a brief course flyover for every single hole, so you can take a look at those. But just let me know the name of the course and the location down below, and I'll add it to the list here and work my way through the over 1,000 courses, part of the 3 to T series. But until next time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the next course.